Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Latino graduation, La Celebración. Thank you for being here. Woo! God. I just wish that you guys are here. So, oh yeah, you can take a seat now. Please take a seat. I will do a lot of mistakes, I promise you, and I will embarrass myself in public, and you can use that against me in the future. My name is William Calvo. I'm a professor of Latino studies. Oh, wait. I'm going to put in my Latino studies because we are here, present. I just wish you guys were sitting here and you can see how beautiful is this. I mean, years of working and sacrifice and people believing and doing things. And and you guys now going out into a world who is different to the one that I was, and you will change it, and it will be fantastic. And we cannot wait to see everything that is going to happen, the stories that you will tell us. So it's just going to be great. Welcome to the University of Michigan. You're, what I say, always home because you graduate from the University of Michigan, because you have a family member who went to the University of Michigan, or because you work here. So, bienvenidos. This is your home. Esta es su casa. This is an extraordinary day. Please take a minute to look around and look at the person who is next to you. This is great. When I was a kid, I used to say, I want to be in the Roman Empire time because they were so amazing and things like that. I want to be in a moment which is historical. But this is a moment which is historical. It's his history who is making right now. So thank you. So another applause to you and to your parents and to everybody who was here. You made it. Fantastic. At this time, I would like to recognize our distinguished guests, faculty, staff, members of this esteemed platform party, as well as all of those who helped with the planning of this celebration today. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I would like to especially thank Dr. Rosario Zavallo, Dean of the College of Literature, Science, and Arts. Thank you, Rosie. It's so wonderful to have you here. It is wonderful. I told you, I'm going to embarrass people. I want to say also to Dr. Tavi Chavois. After all these years, and I not pronounced your name right. Sorry. Vice Provost and Chief Diversity Officer for the University of Michigan for being here with us today. Thank you, Tavi. Thank you. And then during the evening, you will meet some of these people because they will do presentations, not PowerPoint presentation, no, promise you. But you will meet fantastic people. So tonight, before we begin, we want to do a territorial acknowledgement to acknowledge that the University of Michigan was found through a treaty, the Treaty of Four Winds in 1817, when the Anishinaabe and three fire confederacies of the Obinawi, Adawa, and Potawatomi set the positions of the land so their children could be educated. Through this word of acknowledgement, their ancestral tradition and contemporary ties to this land and to the founding of the University of Michigan are renewing and reaffirming today. Thank you. Welcome. So, ahora, para comenzar esta celebración, I want to give great thanks to, I want to say thank you and introduce our Vice Provost of Equity and Inclusion and Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. Tavi Chavois, who will be delivering our welcome remarks. Thank you, Tavi. Now I need to say I'm here in grand part because of you and your husband. Thank you very much. I will not have a job here if that was because they have a vision of how the university can be. So thank you.
That just shows how smart I am to bring brilliant people like William to the faculty and to be such a brilliant instructor and teacher and mentor and scholar. I have your book displayed in my office, so thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hey! I am so honored to be here with you tonight as we recognize our graduates and celebrate the graduation of Latinx student community at the University of Michigan. First, before I get started, please join me in thanking the planning committee for this wonderful celebration. Some of them have been out there greeting you. If you're in the room, anyone who is affiliated with the planning committee, students who are leading the committee, partnered with our wonderful staff and faculty, please raise your hand if you're a part of the planning. Yeah! And I want to thank the Office of Academic Multicultural Initiatives, which is the home and the hub for the planning of our cultural celebrations and graduations, and hopefully a home that our students felt was theirs, as well as the broader University of Michigan. The University of Michigan's first Celebración Latina was held in the year 2000, with the number of students participating in the graduation continuing to grow year after year, and we want to continue to see it grow year after year. We are so proud that this celebration continues to acknowledge the accomplishments of our students here at the University of Michigan. For many of our graduates, as well as their families and friends, this event is a part of a series of celebrations, from the campus-wide commencement at Michigan Stadium on Saturday, to various department and college-specific events throughout the week. Please fully embrace and enjoy as many of these moments as you can, celebrating your significant achievements. My heartfelt congratulations go out to you. I also wish to extend my appreciation to the parents, family members, friends, and support networks of our graduates. Whether they are here with us this evening, have traveled from afar, or are sending their love and congratulations from a distance, this evening is a celebration not only of your individual accomplishments, graduates, but also of the collective achievements and support of your loved ones. It is crucial to honor and acknowledge that. So, since we'll be here for a moment, graduates, rise up. Find your people if they're here in the audience. Woo! And salute, we salute you. Woo! Woo! And for those who are sending love from afar, take a moment and think about them. That's right, we need a little bit of noise and spirit in here. Thank you. We cannot honor and thank the support networks that make this possible enough. Please continue to thank them even after this weekend and after they receive lots of bills. As you prepare to leave this campus and step into a world that feels, at times, more fractured than whole, I want you to pause and recognize what you've accomplished. Today is about celebration. Celebrating what you've accomplished not only academically, but how you've chosen to show up in this space. Many of you brought your full selves into institutions that were not built with your stories in mind. And yet you made space, not just for yourselves, but for those who are coming behind you, and there will be many more who come behind you. You took advantage of the numerous opportunities here to learn and grow academically, professionally, and personally. And in doing so, you have changed the University of Michigan for the better. Graduation time is also a moment of significant transition, and transitions can feel both exciting and uncertain. Whether you're moving to a new city, starting a new job, going to graduate school, or still figuring things out, you are entering a different season of life. And these moments of change have a way of testing us. And when you feel tested, I want to offer 3 habits, or what I call tools for resilience, that have kept me rooted no matter what the circumstance. First, know your values and protect them. During your time here at the University of Michigan, you've learned to listen to new ideas. You've learned to sit with discomfort and to grow from it. Carry that openness with you. It will serve you. But also let your values anchor you. A life rooted in values, equity, integrity, compassion, can weather any storm. Your values will be your guide when the road gets blurry. And values can be in short supply sometimes these days. Second, build and nurture community. Community is more than just who we live near or work with. It's more than our family and friends. It's who we call when we're struggling, who we celebrate with, who holds us accountable to be our best selves. The friendships and networks that you formed here, whether through your classes, your student organizations, the residence halls, or late night study sessions, and I know there were many, are part of that foundation. These bonds and that collective can be a source of resistance in a world that often tries to isolate and divide us. And finally, third, take action. You might look around at the challenges facing our society, racial injustice, economic inequality, threats to truth and democracy, and feel like one voice or a few voices are too small to take on such huge issues. But history tells us a different story. It's told through the courage of individuals who dared to speak up, who organized, who wrote, who researched, who showed up again and again using the talents, the skills, and the tools that they had. So whether you're heading into education, medicine, business, public service, the arts, or beyond, your field, where you are, needs your voice. Please use it. We need you. But let me be clear, you all have those tools. The work ahead of you, it doesn't make the work ahead of you easy, but you already know that. You've proven that you have the courage, the insight, and the compassion to lead. You sat in those classrooms and you've pushed the conversation forward. You've held roles in student organizations, you've launched initiatives, and you've shared your truths in many different ways. And you've done it while carrying legacies of resistance and hope. And the future will demand more of you, but you're ready for it. You carry with you the love, the labor, and the sacrifices of those who made this moment possible. You carry the promise of what's still to come. So graduates, I want you to know, we all see you, we all celebrate you, and we believe in what you will create. We need your brilliance, we need it. We need your voices, and we need your informed leadership. So please go forward with pride, with purpose, and with a deep belief that you have the power to build a more just and inclusive world. And while you're doing that building of a just, inclusive world, please remember that purpose can be coupled with joy and laughter and fun and community. In fact, it requires it. Congratulations, and go Blue.
Muchísimas gracias, Tavi. Thank you very much for those kind words to remind us all that we're part of a strong community that believe, that know that the world will change. Thank you. Thank you, because it's really important in these times. At this moment, I would like to welcome Silvia Rodriguez, who will be delivering a special acknowledgments on behalf of the Planning Committee of the 2025 La Celebración Latina Planning Committee. Am I correct? Yeah? Yeah, perfect, yeah.
Thank you. Buenas noches a todos, and congratulations to the class of 2025. Before we continue our celebration, we wanted to pause to honor someone whose love, courage, and unwavering commitment has helped shape this very special moment we are all in, Dr. Tabby Chavis. Dr. Chavis has been more than a leader. She's been a true advocate in our journey for justice at the University of Michigan. In moments when the integrity of our communities was questioned, she created space for our voices. When others tried to silence or erase us, she stood firm, reminding us that our stories are not only valid, but vital to our experiences on campus. Her efforts have embodied the warmth, strength, and beauty of our Latina community. Under her leadership, Latina enrollment didn't just rise, it was nurtured with intention, care, and purpose. But her impact reached far beyond just numbers. She stood firmly for first-generation students, and she made sure that undocumented students were not only supported, but seen, valued for who they are and all they bring to this campus. In the hardest moments, when it would have been easier to stay silent, she showed up, again and again, with courage, with love, even when it was difficult, even when it meant taking risks, because that's how she leads. Dr. Chavis, in the face of attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion, you remained unshakable. Your leadership has taught us what it means to lead with integrity, courage, and compassion. While we're sad to see you go, we carry your legacy with us. The seeds you've planted in our hearts, in our work, and in this community will continue to grow, shaping the experiences of those who come after us. Muchísimas gracias, Dr. Chavis. You will always be a part of our community. Your impact is woven into our stories, our spaces, and our sense of belonging. Today, we don't just say goodbye. We honor you and celebrate your efforts. We send you forward with love, pride, and the deepest gratitude. On behalf of the La Celebración Latina Planning Committee, Dr. Chavis, we would like to present you with a parting gift acknowledging all the work you have done for our community.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's terrible because I'm always crying. I try not to, but as soon as we start seeing everybody and the names, I just remember all the wonderful things behind each one of you. So thank you, Sylvia, for the wonderful words, and thank you, Tavi, for all the incredible work that you have done to support diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at the University of Michigan. We truly are grateful for everything that you have done. Tavi is set to become the new executive director for the American Education and Research Association this summer. We're going to miss you. Michigan is going to miss you. Thank you. Now, because I would like to invite, for a very informal, some words from our dean on LSA, a Latina who has been also an inspiration for us, Rosy Zavallos.
Ay, mi gente, yo no estaba supuesto a hablar hoy, pero sometimes you are called to use your voice. So what you may not know is that Dr. Chavis and I started on the faculty at the same time. And we went to the gym together when things got really hard. She showed me how to lift weights, and she made me lift more weights, heavier weights. What I want to say is this is an incredible moment for all of us. These times are so difficult and so challenging. And there's no more important time to be in community. And this is a beautiful, strong, resilient community. And I am so thankful to be here with all of you and for the leadership that we have on this stage, for the people who cannot be here, and for the things that we hopefully have supported you all, our graduates, who we are so proud of, that you will all go on and continue to do. So, con gracias y felicidades.
Thank you, Rosie. You are truly an inspiration for all of us, seriously. Well, now I want to invite our keynote speaker. It is such a pleasure, really, to introduce you to the keynote speaker today, Dr. Ruth Bernhardt. Ruth Bernhardt is a Cuban-born writer and anthropologist who was named a Great Immigrant for the Carnegie Corporation. She is the author of acclaimed anthropologist books, including, this is the titles, Translated Women, The Vulnerable Observer, An Island Come Home, Traveling Heavy, and the poetry book, Everything I Will Keep, Todo Lo Que Guardé. Her novel for young people, Lucky Broken Girl, Letters from Cuba and Across So Many Seas, which incorporate insights and understanding from anthropology and history into captivating tales of displacement, personal discovery, and generational endurance. Have won several prestigious awards, including the 2025 Newbery Honor, the Sidney Taylor Honor, the Pura per Belpré Award, and started reviews in Kyrgyz. She is the first Latina to win the MacArthur Genius Grant Fellowship. Perhaps is the James W. Fernandez Distinguished Professor of Anthropology at the University of Michigan and an elected member of the American Academies of Art and Science. Please help me to welcome to the podium Dr. Perhar. Un gran abrazo. Gracias.
Pues muchísimas gracias. It is truly an honor to be here at La Celebración Latina. Felicidades to all the students. And felicidades a las mamás y los papás, las abuelitas y los abuelitos, hermanas, hermanos, tíos, tías, amigas y amigos, profesores, profesoras, all who stand with the graduates. I was born in Havana and came to the United States with my family when I was 5 years old. I started first grade at PS 117 in Queens, New York. I struggled to learn English in school and was placed in the class that the kids called the dumb class. At home, my parents demanded I speak Spanish. I resisted at first until I came to understand that Cubans who lived outside of the island still thought of themselves as cubanos y cubanas. We held on to our cubanidad out of a sense of cultural pride, but also because of uncertainty as to whether we truly belonged in this country. Even after we became U.S. citizens, my parents warned me not to talk about politics, not to participate in protests, or we might be sent back to Cuba. Deportation was a deeply ingrained fear. Now we are living through a moment where attacks on both undocumented and legal immigrants are causing anxiety among all of us in the Latino community. Every deportation triggers gut-wrenching fear, el miedo, el susto, that makes us want to hide. Will we be ripped away from our loved ones and the homes we've built con tanto sacrificio? Education gives us the tools to fight back. It's not simply knowing our rights, but knowing how to tell our stories. Education gives us the voice with which to speak up and be heard. But I don't have to tell you that entering these academic halls isn't easy. As a woman, an immigrant, and a first-generation student, I experienced imposter syndrome and guilt when I said goodbye to my parents and left home to go to college. I worried I wasn't smart enough to pursue an advanced degree. As Latinas so often do, I worked myself to the bone. I was 26 when I received my PhD in anthropology. I arrived at the University of Michigan almost 40 years ago. Pretty amazing, huh? When I began teaching, I had almost no Latina or Latino students. It took a commitment to diversity at this university for things to change. And I feel very fortunate to have mentored many Latina and Latino students who have become extraordinary scholars, artists, and activists. I didn't need to explain to them why I longed for an anthropology that breaks your heart. They understood the wish to make the academy a place open to our full humanity, a place where thinking and feeling can coexist. You are a generation who have lived through the devastation of the pandemic, threats to women's rights, threats to LGBTQ rights, polarized politics, climate disasters, and a rise in digital technology that some say has created an anxious generation. Yet I feel confident you will find creative ways to confront these challenges. You bring great positivity into the world, tolerance, open-heartedness, the wish to preserve your heritage. Each of you, I know, will find a way to share your knowledge with grace and clarity. Our Latinidad embraces a mosaic of cultures, indigenous, African, Spanish, Portuguese, as well as Chinese, Japanese, Arab, and Jewish, among others. We've come a long way in recognizing our complex and evolving mestizaje. We take strength from the legacies of our two Americas, from the courage of enslaved Africans who held on to their Yoruba deities by meshing them with Cuban saints, from the righteous anger of Huamampoma, who used his knowledge of Inca history to argue that the Spanish conquest was unjust, from the determination of Frida Kahlo, who emerged from the shadow of Diego Rivera to become one of the most recognized artists of our time, and from the hardworking Latina mothers and Latino fathers whose dreams paved the way for us to be here today. Our community has given many gifts to the world. Do not let us be vilified. Do not let our history be erased. I want to leave you with the wisdom we find in our dichos, our refranes. In these proverbs, we hear the voice of El Pueblo passing on life lessons preserved through the generations. Let's see how many of these you know as well. No hay mal que por bien no venga. Bad things happen, but they teach us lessons. Hardship, pain, sorrow, loss, and grief can teach us empathy, to care for others, to have a more open mind and a more open heart. I wrote a novel called Lucky Broken Girl about a 10-year-old girl named Ruthie who was injured in a car accident and spends a year in bed in a body cast. I was once that girl. That terrible experience taught me resilience. The passion for reading books and stories that I developed that year set me on my path as a writer and an anthropologist. I was broken, but I was lucky. The experience educated my soul in ways I could never have expected. Don't be afraid to fail at what you dream of doing. You may find out that there's something else you want to do. Don't be afraid to grieve when you've lost a loved one. Grief will lead you to a deeper understanding of all that you learned from that person. Don't be afraid to lean on others when you're going through a hard time. Family and friends are there to love you. Don't be afraid of the dark times. Look for the steady light inside you, the light of the ancestors who brought you to where you are today, and that will guide you on your path. Ojos que no ven, corazón que no siente. Eyes that don't see, heart that doesn't feel. Hay que ver, no podemos taparnos los ojos. We must, more than ever, be present, see with our eyes, document what is happening in our world today. We need to be vulnerable observers. We must speak up when Latinas and Latinos are being treated inhumanely and unlawfully, and we must also speak up when injustice is affecting other communities too. At the same time, we can't succumb to hopelessness. We must see the beauty that surrounds us. A bachata that makes us move our bodies like the waves of the sea. A tango that makes us cry. An altar for the Day of the Dead that brings cheer to a beloved ancestor. The amor of a child saying, abuelita, as my little granddaughters do. As an anthropologist, I've spent my life listening to people's stories everywhere I traveled. Listening is how we learn to feel the humanity of others. More than ever, I think we must all become anthropologists. Seeing so our hearts can feel, we bring more hope into the world. Our last refrán, hay más tiempo que vida. There is more time than there is life. This enigmatic dicho is telling us that we need to be patient, that we need to believe that everything will come in its time and its moment. La vida es breve, el tiempo sigue. Life is short, time is long. Enjoy each moment of our lives as best we can. Time will continue long after we are gone from this earth. Compose a life that you can take joy in and find peace. Give to others, to family and community, so our collective vida can live on. Plant a tree you won't get to see grow to a marvelous height in your lifetime, but that others will enjoy. Hay más tiempo que vida. In this time, this tiempo, we think every day about the fragility of home, the fragility of our lives, but no one can take away who we are. No one can take away the home of memory we carry inside like a caracol. As you set off on your journeys, queridas y queridos estudiantes, remember that you come from a culture with beautiful, deep roots and mucho corazón. That can never be lost. So suerte, felicidades y muchas bendiciones.
Muchísimas gracias, Ruth, for those inspiring words. We are so lucky and honored to have you here. You always remind us that history matters, and the people in history, the story behind each person matters. And behind each one of you, there is a beautiful story that we cannot wait to see it, how it's developed. Thank you, Ruth. Ahora is my distinctive pleasure to help present the Celebración Latina Circle Award. Every year, the University of Michigan faculty or staff member who have gone beyond and above in supporting the Latino community is honored to become a recipient of the Circle Award. The individual who receives the most nominations is selected as the recipient of this year. Ruby Flores Camacho. Woo! Where is Rudy? Ruby, where is Ruby? Served as the inaugural assistant director of the LSA First Generation Commitment. Before joining the LSA First Generation Commitment, Ruby was a program manager of the Office of Multi-Ethnic Student Affairs. She also served as an advisor of La Casa, supporting Latino, Latina, Latinx, Latinx students, and advising on advocacy and inclusion efforts. Committed to bringing forward the experience to inspire and support the first generation of students. Ruby is guided by philosophy centers on advocacy, diversity, and social justice education, along with building authentic relationships. She participates in connecting students with essential resources available, with mentors, with other peers. She's a two-time first-generation college graduate with a bachelor and master from Indiana University in Bloomington, and is from Indianapolis, where she was raised in a bilingual Spanish and English household. Ruby Flores, on behalf of this year's graduating class, please come to the stage to receive the 2025 Celebration Latino Award. Yay! Now,
I'll try not to cry today, even though my previous director told me to try not to. I want to first thank the students who nominated me for this award, because I chose this career in higher education in order to serve students that look like me and have experiences like my own. This award is just as mine as it is yours. Voy a intentar de no llorar hoy, pero no puedo prometer nada. Primero doy gracias a los estudiantes que me nominaron. Llegué a esta carrera en educación para servir a estudiantes que parecen como yo y viviendo experiencias similares a las que yo tenía. Y este reconocimiento es tanto suyo como es el mío. Segundo, mi mamá estaría decepcionada si no tomaría un momento para reconocer las familias y personas que apoyan a los graduados aquí hoy presentes. Ya sea las llamadas largas en la noche, comidas de casa, segundos trabajos que ustedes tuvieron o incluso cruzando fronteras, sus sacrificios hicieron este momento posible. Por favor, pónganse de pie para poder reconocerlos y celebrarlos. Papás, por favor, familia. Yeah. When thinking what I should say today, I did really struggle. How do I inspire a class stepping into one of the most challenging times in our history, a time where our communities and democracy are under attack? But then I realized why you all nominated me. You all love my stories and my lessons I give you all. En pensar en qué decir hoy fue difícil. ¿Cómo inspiro una generación que enfrente uno de los periodos de la historia más difícil? Un tiempo donde nuestras comunidades y nuestra democracia está bajo de ataque. Pero me recordé por qué estos estudiantes me nominaron. Ellos le encantaban mis historias y las lecciones que les podía dar. So let me start off with my postgraduate story. So I chose to stay home for grad school in order to continue to support my family. However, I quickly learned that while making $400 a month, yes, I was only making $400 a month in grad school, juggling 20 to 30 hours of work and being a full-time grad student and being the eldest immigrant daughter was hard. But with the support of my fiancé and other loved ones, I got to pursue my dream career. Mi historia después de graduarme empieza cuando yo me quedé cerca a la casa para mi maestría para seguir apoyando a mi familia. Pero yo solo tenía $400 al mes para sobrevivir con el trabajo y el estudio. Y como la hija mayor de familia inmigrante fue muy difícil, pero con el apoyo de mis seres queridos pude lograr mi carrera de mis sueños. When I moved to Michigan for my first professional role, it was the first time I had no guidance and no built-in support. If you think right now it's hard to find a Latinx community, imagine until you go into the workplace and you go into the neighborhoods you go into. I remember being here in Michigan and feeling alone. I remember, although I had my fiance, I just remember, what did I get myself into? I should have stayed in my comfort zone. However, I've learned that diamonds are made under pressure. So here are some lessons that have gotten me through this part of my life. Cuando me moví a Michigan para trabajar profesionalmente, fue la primera vez que no tenía orientación ni un sistema de apoyo. Si creen que ahorita es difícil para encontrar una comunidad latina, esperen hasta que necesitan ir al trabajo o a sus vecindarios donde viven. Me recordé pensando en qué me metí. Me hubiera quedado en Indiana con mi familia. Sin embargo, como he emprendido, los diamantes se forman bajo de presión. Aquí los comparto unas lecciones que me han ayudado. 1, give back to the communities that have raised you. This is your time, talent, or treasure. For me, it's always been donating to the scholarship that gave me a full ride in undergrad. Second, budget early. By creating a budget sheet and investing in your retirement, what I have learned, it's not about how much you put in, rather it's when you start saving your money, because financial security for a community like us goes a long way. 3, be bold. As my mom always says, tú puedes, no tengas miedo ni vergüenza. You can do it. Don't be scared. Don't be embarrassed. She always pushed us to ask questions if we didn't have the answers and to pursue opportunities. For me, being bold meant applying for an inaugural role and becoming an assistant director at 25. 4, find your people, because community takes time, so be open to it. For me, it was opening up and asking my coworker Andrea if I could go to her kids' hockey games, or opening up to my office neighbor Pahua and asking her about her struggles as an immigrant daughter. 5. And this one is a challenge not only to you as graduates, but to the people in this stage and the current students here. And it's stay active in our Latina community. Now more than ever, we must be united, supporting Latinos, educating yourself and others about our community, uplifting our community. For me, that's looked like being an advisor to La Casa or going to Haven Hall and buying from different Latina student orgs. So, ¿qué dijo? Pues, 1, den la vuelta a sus comunidades que los formaron. 2, honoran ahora su dinero desde temprano. 3, sean valientes. 4, encuéntranse en comunidad con tiempo. En 5, permanecen activos en nuestra comunidad latina. So back to my original question, how do I inspire this graduating class? By reminding you all that you are more than capable than what you think, even if it takes a little bit of time. This graduating class is breaking generational cycles, becoming the next change makers, pushing aside stereotypes. And as I look into the crowd, I'm reminded why I'm in this field. You all are my inspiration and why I continue in this career. Entonces, me revuelvo a preguntar la pregunta inicial. ¿Cómo inspiro a esta generación de graduados? Los recuerdo que son capaces de más lo de que creen, aunque a veces toma un poco de tiempo. Esta generación está rompiendo ciclos de generaciones, convirtiéndose a agentes de cambio, desafiando estereotipos, y ustedes como estudiantes siempre serán mi inspiración para seguir en esta carrera. Well, that's it. That's all I have. Enjoy this moment for yourselves, for past generations, and for those to come. Eso es todo. Disfrutan este momento para ustedes, para las generaciones pasadas y las que vendrán. Vamos Azul, y sí se puede, mi gente.
Thank you, Ruby. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Thank you, Ruby, for all the impact that you have in the Latino community, in those of the first generation. Thank you very much. Another applause for Ruby. Now, to deliver a message to the members of her fellow graduating class, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our student speaker for this evening, Andrea Vargas Cabrera. Andrea Sofia Vargas Cabrera is a senior graduating with a major in mechanical engineering and a minor in German studies. She is a recent graduate from engineering honors, a multidisciplinary design program, and outside of schoolwork. She is involved with Clean Up Campus, the Michigan Engineering Song, and the Michigan Ballroom Dance Team. Next year, she will be pursuing her Master in Design Innovation at Northwestern University. She would like to thank her family for traveling all the way from Colombia and Brazil to see her here today, even if they're driving her a little crazy. Please help me welcome Andrea Sofia Vargas Cabrera to the podium.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. It's only going to get better from here. Hola a todos, soy Andrea. I'd like to share an anecdote with everyone. It will be one of, thank you, gracias, of many you'll hear this weekend. All right, so I have, and this paper should actually say I had, a habit of calling my very Colombian mom whenever I was struggling with my coursework here at the University of Michigan. I know this is not unfamiliar to some of my fellow students. Okay, one time, I was absolutely positive that I was going to fail my aesthetic mechanics final. And when I called her, I was sobbing, crying, complaining, all those things. And I was telling her, I'm positive I'm going to fail this final, which means I'm going to fail this course, which means I failed as a human and as an engineer. And so she responds very calmly. Sophie, por supuesto que vas a pasar el examen. No tienes otra opción. Gracias, mamá. Sorry. She wasn't being mean, I promise. And she just told me I had no choice but to pass. And wherever she is in the audience right now, she is complaining to my dad that I'm giving away her advice for free. Okay, but I do it for a reason. That no tener otra opción has been the reality for a lot of us in many different ways during our degrees. I mentioned it during the ceremony while we are reveling in our accomplishments because I want to set the right backdrop, one where all the hard work you put in gets the right credit it deserves. It needs to be acknowledged that what each and every one of you have done is nothing short of exceptional. If you didn't know that before, I hope you do now. No tener opción has meant something different for every one of us, but I'll speak from my own experience. For one, it meant that I never really understood how some of my peers were really casual about failing a course and having to take it again. I could not imagine having to pay for a class again after having put in all the time, doing all the homework, preparing for it, and I just did not think it was an option to call home and report that. For other people in the room, no tener opción was tied in with the challenge of being a first-generation student and wanting to make your family proud. If that's you, know that I think you're really, really cool, but I also know that there were difficulties that came with it. It meant that you didn't have a lot of opciones, you didn't have a lot of options when asking the people around you how to navigate this new scholastic space. It was really up to you. Failure was not an option. It wasn't a luxury that we had, as my mom put it later in that same phone call. But when we look at these luxuries that we didn't have, I believe we have the opportunity to appreciate the ones that we did. For example, my dad knew that he couldn't go in and make my differential equations exam any less difficult, but he could make the process less miserable by leaving extra snacks in the pantry, by leaving frozen empanadas in my freezer, and by sending me his favorite salsa playlists to play in the background. And it was really nice. And my mom isn't an expert on dynamic physics yet, who knows, but she did have a theory that if you're really stuck while you're studying, to take a break, go get some ice cream, and take a walk around the diag until your head clears. And I can report that it works. And so she would leave a few dollars for me for every midterm season to do just that. So my whole degree, what I did have was the luxury of their support. And more so, Not only did I really have the luxury of support, but what so many of us had was the luxury of all the sacrifice that these support systems put in the first place to get us into this room. And it was one that we could not take for granted. And I think that's the main reason why we all knew that we really had no option but to succeed. So then my notes here say, pause while your parents finish translating what you said to your grandparents. Okay, you guys got it? Okay, cool. Quickly moving on, I'd like to say to everybody, congratulations, felicitaciones, and I am so proud of every student here. I get really excited to see more and more Latina students get the chance to further their education. I really like seeing that number slowly crawl up. It's all because of you guys. And I'm really proud and appreciative for every person that helped you get here as well. I have a soft spot for them. Back to the reason I brought up a random phone call with my mother in this really impressive theater. It's more so because of the challenges that you faced, but more the work and strength that you put into this degree can no longer be understated, and no one can take it away from you. There's There's a lot of things that this harsh world can take away from you, but a degree is not one of them. Not only do you walk away from your time here with that degree, but with that grit that you've developed as a result. As you move forward from today, I have a request, and it's that you hold tight to that resilience that you've developed, because it will get you far. More than that, please don't forget to carry the love and sacrifices of those who've supported you up to this point, because that's what will get you even further. Felicidades a todos.
I already lost where I was supposed to be saying something. No. Muchísimas gracias, Andrea. And thank you to your mom for those words. Now I will remember. Sometimes there are very few options, but it's good to have few options sometimes. Thank you. Thank you very much. And congratulations to all your class. Thank you. So now, it's con gran gusto that we are right to the moment, you know, when I will mispronounce everybody's names, you know. And I get all anxious, you know, even though the names are in Spanish, I will, of course, I'm going to say it wrong. It's time to honor our graduating class of 2025. Para empezar, we will first recognize our undergraduate student, then celebrate our master's degree recipients, and finally, we will conclude with a traditional holding ceremony to honor our newly minted doctoral students who will receive the highest academic degrees. For our master and doctoral recipients, one is coming to the honor. For our master and doctor degree recipients, once it's come time to honor you, please be sure to hold your hood in your arm when you come to the stage. If your advisor is present this evening, we cordially invite them to join us on stage to perform the hooding. However, if your faculty advisor is not present, we will honor you personally. Additionally, we will kindly ask that you, doctoral student, do not leave the stage after your hooding. Please remain seated until all the people who have received the degrees, doctoral degrees, are receiving. So, because obviously we want to take a picture all together, you know. Graduates, we will kindly ask you to please remain seated until a student volunteer prompt you your route to begin. Come to the stage. Okay, so now to help me in that process, we have Alexa Lynch, who will be reading the names. Oh, great. Thank you very much. She will read the names. Thank you.
Mira, él quiso, lo iba a decir, no, pues así puede. So if you wanted to, I was like, go ahead.
No,
you know?
you're doing much better than me.
Bueno, aquí en comunidad todos apoyamos a los demás, ¿verdad? So, muy buenas noches, me llamo Alexa, yo trabajo en el Colegio de Literatura, Ciencias y Artes. My name's Alexa, I work in the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts here for a program called Intend to Attend, and it's my great honor to honor the graduating class of 2025. Y ya llegó la fiesta, okay? Llegó la hora de celebrar. As an alumna myself, La Celebración Latina has always been my favorite memory of just completing all the goals that ourselves, our families, our support systems are really aiming for. So we would like to invite the first line to come up, and for our faculty and staff here who are supporting.
So Catalina will stall the students.
Okay, Catalina will stall the students, and Dr. Tabby Chavez will hood the students, and we will present the graduates at this time. So we welcome you all to come up, and I can go ahead and read your names one at a time. Ariana Chaves. Andrea Peyot Jiménez. Manuel Alessandro Maya. María Cristina García Rivera. Carly Nicole Salazar. Antonia Ovalle. Gabriela Gaitán Aguirre. Enrique Baranda. Jonathan Sarasa. Jennifer Mariela Montoya. Elaine García Vargas. Stephanie Sáenz. Colleen Vanessa Arcos. Paige Marsman. Jasmine Espinosa Romero. Leticia Márquez. Anadelia González Segura. Celia Rendón. Lola Magdalena Rodríguez. Brenda Itzel Esquivel Rivera. Nicole Hanschoten. Gabriela Rodríguez. Bianca Barraza. Dalia Flores. Jennifer Arroyo. Idalis Chávez. Yasmira Cortés. Elizabeth Cervantes. Andrea González. Andre Jose Gala Garza. Anaí Hernández. Yesmar López Vázquez. Samantha Palomino. Citlali Villagómez. Citlali Betancourt. Rocío Cerratos. Estrella Escutia. Stefania Ramírez. Carlos Tapia. Juan José Martínez. Sara Rodríguez Medina. Santiago Uribe Guiza. Janely Lemus. Emily Castañeda Espinosa. Sadia Torres. Gerardo Sierra Reyes. Andrea Sofía Vargas Cabrera. Amy Herrera Rodríguez. Salma Araceli Torres. Luis Fernando Chávez Navarrete. Gustavo Silva Velasco. Christopher Sánchez. Viana Chafar. Daniel Sánchez. Nelson Figueroa. Alexia Bel Moreno. Pablo García Acuña. Ariana Maldonado Torres. Naiset Fernández. Valeria Sánchez. Yaredi Soto. Victoria Hernández. Vanessa González. Cristian Loredo Durán. Luz Mayancela Cacho. Preciosa Paucar. Cristal Ramírez García. Brian Sagüe. Justin Sigüencia. Colin Casho. Tamara Monjaras. Fiorella Adán. JD Rodríguez. Camila Avalos. Jennifer Odalis Román. Kate Diane Lopez. Anthony Sanchez. Cindy Mazariegos Barrios. Julia Magallanes. Laila Pérez. Karen Espitia Rodríguez. Rigoberto Rangel Jr. Y eso no nomás comenzó la fiesta, ¿verdad? So that's just the start of the celebration because those are all of our undergraduate recipients. So everyone who started maybe or continued their undergraduate career here at the University of Michigan. And now we would like to invite those who have now obtained their graduate degrees. So I believe it's those who will be hooded for the master's degree first. We will invite you to the stage. Un aplauso, por favor. And I believe everyone will be taking a group photo at the end. And so we might have you wait here in the corner. Thank you, I'm getting directions from photography, to take a photo of everyone together. But this is a huge accomplishment as well. We are so excited to celebrate you, and we would like to invite you up to the stage and get your recognition. Otro aplauso. Juan Pablo Roacho, Master of Public Health and General Epidemiology, with a certificate in Public Health Genetics from the School of Public Health. Shirley Araiza Santaella, Master of Science, Information, and Master of Public Policy. Lisette Aguilar, Master of Public Policy and Master of Science in Information. Isabel Lopez, Master of Science from the School of Information. Montserrat Llanas, Master of Public Health for Population Health Science. Carlos Figueredo Correa, Master of Science in Data Science. Jana Sames, Master of Landscape Architecture and Master of Science in Environmental Justice. Congratulations to all of those who have now obtained their master's degree and graduated from the University of Michigan, class of 2025. All right, and we'll wait for everyone to go ahead and take a group photo, recognizing those who decided to continue their education. All right, and now I'm seeing that we have a line of those graduating with their doctorate degrees, so los que están graduando con sus doctorados. Saraí Blanco Martinez, PhD in Education and Psychology from LSA in Education. Ariana Bueno, PhD in Applied Physics from the College of LSA. Francisco Gomez Rivera, Doctor in Immunology from the University of Michigan Medical School. Y muchísimas felicidades a la clase de 2025 en la Celebración Latina. ¡Qué orgullo! ¡Qué energía, mi gente! ¡Felicidades, felicidades!
Wow, 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 wow. Another one for everyone. You did it. You did it. in one of the top universities in the world. So amazing, amazing. We just need to, take this because it's just amazing. At this moment, I would like to welcome Ruben Camp, President of the University of Michigan Latino Alumni Association. Ruben, he is a program officer at the Crimson Foundation. Ruben supports education programs to increase college access and success for marginalized students. Before joining the foundation in 2023, Ruben served as a research assistant, college success coach, and senior advisor representative at the University of Michigan. He also previously worked as a campaign fundraising associate and held public policy fellowship with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus at the U.S. Department of State on Capitol Hill. Originally from Saginaw, Michigan, Ruben holds a bachelor's degree in public policy and a master's degree in higher education from the University of Michigan. He is currently finishing his PhD in higher education at the University of Michigan. Let's welcome Ruben. Thank you. I want to see you here when you finish your PhD the next year.
Yes, next year. I know he's going to hold me accountable to that. The problem was I gave William my phone number before the program started, so now he's going to be texting me every few weeks saying how far I am. I have about 1.5 chapters left before I can join all of you in the stands or here as well, so super excited. Let's give another round of applause to our graduates. That was just so... That was so electric. I think I was getting goosebumps. But you know what was really cool is the fact that as students were coming up, other folks were also graduating, what I imagine students who they may have not known. And that just really shows the strength of our community. So that's really cool to see. It really shows how united we can be. William did a good job of introducing me. I did my bachelor's here at the University of Michigan, wrapped up my master's degree while working part-time in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I probably didn't read your apps, but I can tell you that for you to go through that rigorous process, that you are all academically excellent students, and you've proven that today. I also did mention that wrapping up my PhD, so do look forward to joining you all next year. But, in addition to that, I also serve as chair of the University of Michigan Latino Alumni, which I'll get to in just a little bit. I will say, though, that if you did notice, a common trend here is that when the speakers were coming up, a lot of us were saying, and we do hold it true, that it is an honor and a privilege to be here in celebration with all of you and your family. And I think for me, that really resonates. I know when I sat in that seat years ago, we only had a few rows of students, and it seems that with each passing year, and I don't know if others can attest to this, we add more rows for our students, and that just really shows that we are here and we are here to stay. I will say that I'm excited to maybe say in the next few years, we fill this place and then maybe have to relocate to a larger venue. Hector or the staff, wherever you're at, I know that might create some anxiety, but it is real. This was probably the largest group that I've seen in the years that I've come. So congratulations to all of you in doing that. That's so awesome. I know I stand in front of food, so I'm going to keep it brief, I promise. Just a quick survey. As a researcher, it's always cool to kind of do surveys. How many of you are the first in your family to graduate from college? Put them high. Wow, that's amazing. And how many of you today have like younger siblings or cousins or nieces or nephews in the crowd today? Raise them high. Wow, that's awesome. I will say that you are paving the way for them. They are seeing you graduate today, and you are putting an impression on them that will last for years. So do remember that. You are really leading by example for the next generation of our students. So continue to pave the way and continue to do great things even when you leave here today. I'm gonna share a short story of my time at Michigan. It's gonna be very brief, and then I promise you I'll tie it into why you should join the University of Michigan Latino Alumni Association. When I was a freshman here many moons ago, there was one day I was walking down State Street. It was a nice fall day in Ann Arbor, and for you of those who know what fall is in Ann Arbor, it really is a beautiful place. I was walking down State Street and I was heading toward the Michigan Union, and I was jamming to my headphones. Back in the day, I probably had like a nice clean fade, and I remember as if it was yesterday, somebody had like pulled up in a car next to me, and they had yelled out their window and said, you in the black, go back to the ghetto. And it was something that just like that day that really just lit a fire under like my belt, because I had known for many years, I had worked very, very hard, like all of you did, to get to the University of Michigan. And so that spark, that really lit a fire under me, and I think it's the reason why I continue to pursue degrees at the University of Michigan. And when I get my third, I promise I'll be done. I tell my family I'm done. But it really did light a fire under me. And I will say that for all of you, despite some of the challenges that we've had this year, I'll call it noise so I don't get in trouble, there's probably a moment that you can look back and say, when the fire was lit under you. What I'll say here is that continue to let that fire burn and don't let it burn out. Even when you leave the University of Michigan, continue to be an advocate and to break down walls to uplift our community. And this is why it relates to our Alumni Association. So many of you, what's next is some of you probably will leave Ann Arbor. Some of you will probably travel to a large city, New York, Chicago, LA. Some of you might leave the United States. Some of you might go to your master's degree or pursue a degree, a next step of higher education. Who's going to do a master's after this? Just show of hands. Wow, that's awesome too. Look at that. So wherever you do go, and this ties to our association, there will always be a family that will be here for you. This family here, obviously your family out there, but also the University of Michigan Latino Alumni Association. And what we've done in the last few years, and really what the vision of our board this year is to really try to build our community and really try to connect with all of you. We find that when we can create a space where all of us can come together, where we can leverage like technology, Zoom, Instagram, LinkedIn, we can find a way to connect. And it's very important and critical that we can connect, because that has power, it has social capital, so that when you're looking for a job or you need to relocate to a new city, you can connect with someone who knows the experiences you've gone through, or maybe as a Michigan alum. And that's where we come in, the University of Michigan Latino Alumni. We had stickers out in the back, and I don't have one on me right now, but there's a QR code on that table as well. The idea is if you can go ahead and scan that, it's an easy follow to our LinkedIn page. That will be a good way for you to get connected with us. We want to stay connected with you. We would love to see some of you maybe join the board someday, but the idea here is really, in numbers, we do have strength, as we've shown here today. And again, despite all the things that happen over the year, we want to make sure we're connected with you and that we're supporting you and future students. So please join us, give us a like, talk to me after if you have time, but we'd love you to join the University of Michigan Latino Alumni Association and really build and uplift our community. So with that being said, I'm all set here. Thank you so much. This was great. I'm going to take this energy, and I might write Sunday, maybe we'll do that. But it really is energizing, and I really love speaking to you all today. So thank you so much, and have a great night.
Well, we promise you to keep with the program to finish before 8. So we arrived to almost the end, but it's really not a good word. It's really just the beginning. So, it's important to recognize you for all the work that you guys have done, the parents, but also the faculty. Behind every student, there is office hours, assignments to be read. For those who are PhD reading the dissertation. So I want to also give a huge applause for those people who have mentored you along the way during the journey here at the university. So please, an applause to the faculty, to the staff, for those who have been walking with you. Thank you. Now, just to finish, Ruby, remember us to invest in your retirement. Please do not check your investments if you have investments these days, But invest in your future or in your retirement means many different things, Our community has taught us that love mueve montañas. Love moved my mom, a single mother from Costa Rica, to come to the United States without papers, as it had done with many of our families. Love moved your parents to send you to a city far away in Michigan, sometimes in other states, because they loved you. Love have carved a space for us right here at the University of Michigan. When it was feel like sometimes we were not belong or we were not meant to be here. So I would say invest in your retirement, but it means invest in love. Love is powerful. It's truly probably the most powerful and lasting force capable to change the world. As Andrea's mom, I don't know if she's here, say, no hay otra opción. There is no other option. The world had tried everything, had tried hate, had tried fear, retaliation, and where it had bring us? War, environmental decay, exploitation, discrimination. Maybe we are in a very historical moment where we are called to take risk and invest in love. So I call you to do this investment together and become stronger, loving, caring, forgiving, because love is really can change the world. And you are a testimony that love has bring you all the way here. Just to end, I do research, and one of the persons that I write an article is, her name is Chiara Lubick, who is an influential female thinker in the 20th century. And once she said that if she were to change her name, she would like to be called Thank You. It took me many years to understand this point. Thank you is a power expression. So, thank you. Gracias for a wonderful celebration of the Latino community. Gracias to our graduates, to our faculty, to the staff, to our parents, to your mentors, for sus abuelitas, for all of them who believe and sometimes die without ever seeing you graduating. So, thank you, because we come from a long generation of people who have worked hard for you guys. So now it's your time to give back and love. So, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening together. Oh. Wow. So, let me see. At this moment, I will ask the platform party to please rise. The platform party, please lead our graduate out of the auditorium. Students, please follow the platform party out of the auditorium in the roads as they go. Thank you.